Hi, welcome. So today I'm going to pick my TBR for April, and I am using my tarot cards and some oracle cards, and we're gonna use them to pick the vibes. So first I am going to, first I'm gonna open all these up, and then we'll get to choose in here. So first I'm going to draw. These are the crystal oracle deck, and basically we just have a bunch of crystals and each one of them has colors, and so we're just gonna go by the color on this. So just gonna get a shuffle here. I can't really actually shuffle these. I don't have a camera facing down to be able to do this, so I'm gonna shuffle. And I'm gonna pick a couple of these. So the first one we got was Satellite, and it's like a blue color. And then, so I'm gonna pick two from this. Start with these. I don't want to shuffle very well. Okay, and then we've got Rhodochrosite. I don't know how to say a lot of these. So this one is like a pink, like a really light pink color. So we're gonna go with those two colors for vibes. And then I'm gonna pick one of these. It's the Star Seeds cards, and these have celebration, release, guidance, things like that. We're gonna pick one of those. Okay, so we got signs. The universe has been gently nudging you forward by revealing to you signs and synchronicities. So I'll figure something out for that in a minute. I'm gonna draw these cards and then I'll pick stuff for them. So got that one, and then I'm gonna choose one of these Moonology ones, and they have different phases of the moons and different signs, and that's really reflective. And then at the bottom it kind of has balance, spirituality, stuff like that. So okay, so we got balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. So let's see what my guidebook says about that one. Have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention and make some concerted effort to move forward towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. Meditate on your questions. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. Follow your intuition. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. The person you're inquiring about is a soulmate. Okay, so for that, I'm gonna go with romance vibes. Okay, and then let's see. So that is 4. So then I'm gonna pick 4 of these. So these are the Weaver, the Threads of Fate Weaver Tarot deck. I don't know how well you could see that, but it's got hollow foiling on them, and the cards are all hollowed. So we're gonna shuffle these a bit. Oh, there's one. Need a couple more. We're gonna grab this one, and I keep trying to drop them. Can't have that many on my TBR, so there's 3 and one more. And I kind of made a little cheat sheet for these, for I went through and gave them all some kind of prompt. So one more. Oh, there we go. Okay. So come on, get back in there. good enough. Okay, so we got Strength. We got the Sovereign of Cups. We got the Five of Cups. And we got the Hanged One. So, okay, so the Hanged One, we need something that's like sacrifice. And where's the other major? Okay, and then Strength. So Strength, so this one I'm gonna do like the main character does some type of like training on themselves. Okay, so then these are both cups. So we have Five of Cups. We have, there's been a recent breakup, and all of these I'm like all the cups I'm doing like romance for them. So then the Sovereign of Cups is something like nurturing and heartfelt. So, and this one was also a romance. So I'll just go over real quick so for the crystals I'm doing by color. This one I'm just kind of going by vibes. This is the Starseed one. It gives you, so it says signs, and then like I'm gonna go like vibes off of it. The Moonology, I'm going by my little book, and it talks like romance. And then these, I went through all of them and like read the book and checked like what the vibes would be for each one. So I have a list of like the major arcana ones, and each one of them is kind of different. They each have different things, but for wands I'm doing magic. So like the wands are fire, inspiration, creativity, energy, wild, raw, passion, excitement. So those are like the major descriptors or whatever of most of these cards. So I kind of went by that. So these are like magic and vibes to do with magic. So for cups, I chose romance because it's water, emotions, intuition, relationships, healing, subconscious, connection. And then for swords, I chose like fantasy because it is air, intelligence, change, power, bravery, communication, power. For some reason I have power twice, ambition, and action. So those are like the more like action-packed things. And then the last one is the coins. So this one I just kind of did things like TBR jar, the hubby picks, different family members pick, things like that. So coins are earth, physical, career, money, stability, ego, nature, foundations, and business. So I just kind of made different little things for it. So I'm going to pause this for a minute, and we're going to choose cards for, or choose the books for these cards. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've got all my books picked. So for the blue satellite card, I went with Emily Wilde's because it pretty well matches that. Let's see. Cambridge professor Emily Wilde is good at many things. She is the foremost expert on fairies. She's a genius scholar and meticulous researcher who's writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But Emily Wilde is not good at people. She can never make small talk at a party or even get invited to one. And she prefers the company of her books, her dog, Shadow, and the fair folk to other people. So when she arrives at the hardscrabble village of, I'm not even going to try and say that, Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk, nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival, Wendell Brambleby, who manages to charm the townsfolk, muddle Emily's research, and utterly confound and frustrate her. But as Emily gets closer and closer to uncovering secrets of the hidden ones, most elusive of the fairies lurking in the shadowy forest outside the town, she also finds herself on the trail of mystery. Who is Wendell Brambleby, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. So then for the rhodochrosite, or however you say it, it's like this pink vibe. So I went with Wildfire, because it gives the same vibes there. So this is the sequel to Icebreaker. At a party celebrating the end of the academic year, Maple Hill students Russ Callaghan and Aurora Roberts have a passionate one-night stand. Never one to overstay her welcome or expect much from a man, Aurora slips away before Russ even has a chance to ask for her full name. Days later, they run into each other in their new jobs as summer camp counselors. Hoping to escape their complicated home lives, Russ knows breaking the camp's strict no-staff fraternizing rule will have him heading back to Maple Hills before the summer's over, but unfortunately for him, Aurora has never been very good at carrying about the rules. And then for signs, I just did like, you've been getting signs, you should read this. So I've been seeing this all over TikTok and YouTube, whatever. And so I'm gonna read Bride by Allie Hazelwood. This one's the Owl Crate edition. A vampire bride and an alpha werewolf form a dangerous alliance in this enthralling new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. Her days living anonymously among the humans are over. She's been called upon to uphold an alliance between vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Morland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice or feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's movements that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Misery has her own reasons to agree with this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers. So for the Moonology card, the full moon in Pisces, it was all about like romance and kind of like romance and being a little delulu. So I went with highly suspicious and unfairly cute. Kind of got vibes from that. So it says Bradley Graham is pretty much perfect. He's a star football player, manages his OCD well enough, and comes out on top in all his classes except the ones he shares with Celine. They used to be best friends until Brad decided he was too cool for conspiracy theory obsessed Celine and literally abandoned her for the popular kids table. At least that's how Celine sees it. These days, Brad hates her guts, and the feeling is mutual. So when Celine signs up for a 2-part survival course in the woods, she definitely doesn't expect to find Brad right beside her. Forced to work together for a chance to win the grand prize, Celine and Bradley must trudge through not just mud and dirt, but their messy past. As this adventure brings them closer, they start to remember all the good parts of their history that has too much time passed or just enough to spark a whole new kind of relationship. So then the Hanged One card, it was about sacrifice, so I went with the Midnight Bargain. Beatrice Claiborne practices magic in secret and dreams of pursuing it as her calling, as men do. She's terrified of being locked into a marital collar that will cut off her powers and protect her unborn children. But her debt-ridden family has staked everything on bargaining season. When young people of means negotiate the best marriages, only an advantageous match can save the Claibornes from ruin. When she finds a grimoire holding the key to becoming a magus, and a rival sorceress dwindles it right out of her hands, Beatrice summons a spirit to get it back. Her new ally, however, exacts a price, her first kiss. With her adversary's brother, the handsome, compassionate, and rich Laban, the more Beatrice is entangled with the Lavens, the harder her decision grows. But if she becomes a magus, she will devastate her family and lose the only man to ever see her for who she is. But if she marries, even for love, she will sacrifice her magic, identity, and dreams. How can she choose and forever regret the path not taken? The Strength card is about the main character training themselves and improving themselves. So I went with Daughter of No Worlds, which I'm gonna do a book club read of those, or of that one. Okay, so the life in slavery taught Tisana how to survive with nothing but a sharp eye, a quick mind, and a touch of magic. But the night she tried to buy her freedom, she nearly paid with her life. Instead, she murdered the most powerful man in Threll. Forced to flee, she has only one chance at saving those she left behind, pledging herself to the Orders, an organization of magic wielders strong enough to destroy her former masters. To earn her place, Tisana is forced into an apprenticeship with Maxentarius Farloin, a handsome and reclusive fire wielder who despises the Order. He has no interest in helping her, but as the Order's grip tightens around them both, her bloody past may be the key to her future or their downfall. Under looming war, Tisana must master her magic and survive the Order's demands, and as her feelings for Max deepen, she's forced to decide how much she's willing to trade away for revenge. The Orders have bigger plans for Tisana, darker plans, but Tisana will stop at nothing to save those she's abandoned, even if it means forfeiting her freedom and sacrificing her heart, even if it means wielding death itself. So for the Sovereign of Cups is intuitive, kind, and empathetic, nurturing, and heartfelt. So I went with Remember Me by Kristen Marzullo. It says, after 2 years of not speaking to her family, Mia Davis, a 25-year-old relationship advice columnist, receives a wedding invitation in the mail from her older brother Todd. Despite telling her boyfriend Ethan she's going alone, she secretly RSVPs yes with a +1. Once back in her hometown, Mia is quickly bombarded with memories of her life before she left, as both Todd and her dad treat her like no time has passed at all. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for her mom, who is still holding tightly to the pain of Mia leaving her after experiencing a tremendous loss that no one seems to want to talk about. As Mia navigates this new family dynamic and struggles to figure out where she fits in, she leans on Jake, the ex-love of her life, in a bold but not so innocent effort to make amends with him. She invites him to the wedding. To her surprise, Jake's presence brings up emotions she thought she'd never feel again, and her pain of keeping her cards close to her chest quickly unravels. Mia soon realizes that mending old wounds is harder than simply saying sorry. After searching for the answers to forgiveness in those around her and finding they were right in front of her all along, she admits that she's not the expert on love, loss, and healing. Before returning to New York, she must choose between Jake and Ethan, find a way to redirect the anger and blame she felt towards her mom, and decide if she's strong enough to integrate her broken past into her unfolding future. And then the last one is the Five of Cups, and it is like a breakup. So I went with Magnolia Parks because it says Magnolia Parks is a beautiful, affluent, self-involved, and mildly neurotic London socialite. BJ Valentine is Britain's most notorious and photographed bad boy who broke her heart, but these two are meant to be, and everyone knows it. Magnolia and BJ are written in the stars, just suspended in a strange kind of love that looks like hurting each other a lot of the time. She dates other people to keep him at bay. He sleeps with other girls to get back at her for it, but at the end of their every sad endeavor to get over one another, it's still each other they crawl back to. Finally, after years of this, their dysfunction is catching up with them, pulling at the seams and fraying the world they've built. They're not ready to let go. Not yet, at least. As his cracks start to show and secrets begin to surface, Magnolia and BJ are forced to face the formidable question that they've been avoiding all their lives. How many loves do you really get in a lifetime? I'm working on my Throne of Glass series, so I'm doing, let's see, I'm reading Heir of Fire currently, and so I hope to have Queen of Shadows read by the end of the month also. So there's 2 more books, and that'll make 10. And then, let's see, I'm currently reading Butcher and Blackbird with a group of people, like as a buddy read. So I'm gonna finish that one. I'll probably end up finishing it into April. I've also started Gothicana, which I will probably finish next month. That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. I'm hoping I can finish this before the end of the month, but we'll see. And A Good Girl's Guide to Murder I had started, but I'm not very far into it, so we'll see where I get with that. And yeah, I think that's all of them. I do have a couple on Kindle too that I've kind of been reading, or like audiobook that I've been reading. So we'll see where I end up with those, and I'll have them in my either my March wrap up or my April wrap up where I finish them. So yeah, so I've got quite a few here that I need to finish and or start. Hi, so I was editing my TBR video and I realized that I didn't really do an outro. So yeah, I did. There's a couple books that I mentioned in the end of this, and I did actually finish them before the end of March, so they are going to be my March wrap up. And then I have a few others that I added onto my April TBR. So I have, let's see, I have 3 arcs that I have started. One of them is I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend by Jessica Cage, and then I don't remember what the other one's called. Okay, and then another one by Jessica Cage is To Aid a Wolf. So I believe these are coming out in May, so I'm currently reading those 2 arcs. And then I started a buddy read of Product of the Streets by E. Bowser, and I've been reading it, so that one's another one on my April TBR. I started reading Shot in the Dark, and it is by Mary Dublin and Anne Kinsley. Yeah, Anne Kinsley. So that one's another arc I'm reading. So I have 3 arcs that I gotta read in April, and then I started that other buddy read, and I have a few other hopefuls. Like I'm hoping to get to the last 2 books in the Royal series, which is like the Paper Princess ones that I mentioned in my wrap up. And I kind of wanted to start the 2nd of the Chestnut Spring series, but we'll see if I get to it or not. Those are just kind of like on the back burner for now. So yeah, I just thought I'd do an outro for this, and hopefully this is another good reading month. This past month everything was really good that I read, so I'm crossing my fingers that everything's good this month and I can just blow through these books. So yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.